All right. All right. Children messed with my camera. There we go. All right. Oh my gosh. Appreciate you guys waiting. Work was absolutely ridiculous. Put in a 13 and a half hour night. I am definitely tired, but I may not end up doing a full hour of the podcast because, wow. Yeah, definitely tired. But it's trade deadline day. And when I knew that everything was going to go haywire this week, it's kind of bummed out because I am hoping that today ends up really ramping up from now until 4 o'clock. I'm hoping that we get a lot of moves. And like I said yesterday, if there aren't a ton of moves that take place today, I will question a lot of GMs. I will question a lot of GMs on whether or not they want to keep their jobs, whether or not they actually want to win a Super Bowl, or if they're just conceding, we're a year away from really being able to win it, but we can compete good enough for now. But I have to give credit where credit's due. So the Ravens traded Jaire Alexander to the Eagles. And then they traded for Draymond Jones, the edge rusher, from the Tennessee Titans. And this is a conditional 5th round pick. It can turn into a 4th round pick if conditions are met. These are the types of trades I've been telling you guys I want to see a lot today. And yes, we're just jumping right in because I'm hoping as we do the podcast here that more and more news is going to come out. So we're just going to jump right into it. If I get tired and I start getting off track, I'll just end it so that, it doesn't go completely haywire. But the reality is I love this trade for the Ravens. They need pass rushing help. It's cheaper. It gives the Titans another draft pick to keep building. They're going to be building for the next 2 years. I do love what Draymond said, though, because he goes, listen, Cam is the real deal. Give him time. So from a defensive player is telling you, listen, the rookie's got it. He just doesn't have the supporting cast to help him. Jackson Dart has it. He doesn't have the supporting cast to fully help him. And we're going to see in the injury list today, we got a lot of injuries to go over. It's starting to get bad. I mean, just a simple one. Joe Alt is officially now out for the year for the Chargers. Season-ending ankle surgery. Done. Tucker Kraft, torn ACL. Done. And yet, I venture to say that some of these teams will not make a move to fix the hole. And that's what I think is going to be the most frustrating. So we're going to do the injuries like we do on every Tuesday. I'm going to go through the injury list, but it's going to be a little bit faster, and I'll be checking all the news in between as we go through things. The other trade that has happened today already, the Cincinnati Bengals traded Logan Wilson, the linebacker, to the Cowboys for a 7th round pick. Why is this a good trade for the Bengals? Well, number one, he requested a trade. Number two, he was no longer a starter, and you got a draft pick out of it. That's how you do it, Cincinnati. Well done. Finally, well done. You got a draft pick out of a guy that you had benched, and you weren't playing as much. That's how you keep building a team. Well done. And for the Cowboys, it's an area of need. They need help at linebacker badly. Let's go over last night's game because there is something interesting brewing because of last night's game. The Arizona Cardinals knocked off the Dallas Cowboys 27-17. Dak Prescott was sacked 5 times. Multiple fumbles by the Cowboys. He had 250 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The Cowboys ran the ball 21 times for 123 yards, averaging almost 6 yards a carry. That wasn't bad. The Cardinals ran the ball 29 times for 119 yards, averaging 4.1 yards a carry. Jacoby Brissett, though, again, 21 of 31, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he was sacked 5 times. Marvin Harrison Jr., 7 catches on 10 targets with a beautiful catch. My gosh, was that an awesome catch. Beautiful catch. Michael Wilson, 3 catches, 61 yards. Trey McBride, 5 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. The reality of this game really was this. Arizona looks a lot better running with Jacoby Brissett. They went into Dallas in prime time, which is normally a time where Dallas just shines. And it really, really, really had some bad impact. Because now Gannon has to defend bringing in Kyler Murray. This isn't good. This isn't good. When Gannon was asked why you're going to stick with Murray when the offense has looked so good with Brissett, this was his response. It's just how I feel. It's just how you feel? So hold it. So you feel like using the quarterback that doesn't elevate teammates, doesn't lead on the field, and the offense has looked worse with. I'll be honest. At 3-5 with Jacoby Brissett, the Cardinals can flirt with 8 or 9 wins. With Kyler Murray, I don't trust them to do much. And I don't trust that Kyler Murray cares enough in Arizona about Jacoby Brissett. I would trade Kyler Murray in a heartbeat. Most people, and by people I mean Arizona press and the insiders, truly believe that Kyler Murray was a healthy scratch last night and that he full well could have played. And Arizona didn't play him. And Gannon is now just saying, it's just how I feel. Murray is still going to be the quarterback when he comes back. You got to be kidding me, right? Really? There's no way. That doesn't make any sense. I think Kyler Murray needs to be traded to the Carolina Panthers. I said it yesterday. The Raiders would work, but I don't know if their cap-ish situation works. The Panthers have a team. Kyler Murray is decent. I do believe he would help the Panthers. Bryce Young missed T-Mac and Leggett on Sunday. They still won. They got a great running game. I believe Kyler Murray would give the Panthers the ability to truly fight for a wild card spot in the NFC. I really do. I think Bryce Young would kind of run through Arizona while you're looking at what you're going to do in the future. The reality is, Gannon is probably getting fired now. The defense isn't awful. You have McBride, you have Harrison, you've got some cornerstone pieces and playmakers. You just need the quarterback and you need the coach that's going to make everything work. If I'm Arizona, if I fire Jonathan Gannon, I'm going after Lane Kiffin. Yes, I am going after Lane Kiffin. Why? Because some of the second and third round quarterbacks are going to be SEC quarterbacks that he knows, that he's recruited, that he's wanted to have come play with him. He knows how to drop a game plan. I still think LSU is probably going to be where he ends up. But if the NFL calls, which the NFL should, it should. If the NFL calls, Arizona is not a bad destination. Kyler Murray has been the problem in Arizona for a long time. I'd love to see what Gannon could do with a different quarterback. I don't think Jonathan Gannon is a horrible head coach. I think he is a decent, good head coach. I don't think he's that bad. So, honestly, I would trade him. I really would. I would really, really trade him. So, yeah, last night's game made things really interesting in Arizona because now, more than ever, Arizona has an issue. And it's not pretty. All right. The Washington Commanders linebacker, Frankie Luvu, was suspended for one game for the continual hip drop tackles. It is Luvu's third time being fined for a hip drop tackle, and the third one, you then get a suspension. Listen, I know these guys are fast. I get it. The Commanders lost Marshawn Lattimore, Luke McCaffrey, and Jaden Daniels. All in that game. Dan Quinn said he left Jaden Daniels in there too long. I'm not going to get into that. I'm really not. These guys feel like their season's on the line. I'm not going to just, no. No. So here is what I'm looking at. I believe right now, the Commanders need to be looking to 2026. At this point in time, I would say get rid of the players that you don't feel fit the future of that franchise. Just get out the players that you don't feel fit the future of that franchise. And it's that simple. I believe the Commanders are at a crossroads right now. They've got the young quarterback. They've got different things that work out for them. They've got some cap flexibility if they do it right. They signed, McLaurin to a bad deal. He kind of held them hostage, twisted their arm, and then he's been out for most of the year, unproductive. This is why they don't pay 30-year-old receivers. So I love you, McLaurin. I've always loved you as a wide receiver, but this is why you don't get paid that money as a 30-year-old. This is why the Bucs shouldn't have paid Mike Evans. This is why you don't pay Chris Godwin, who's got a long injury history. You don't pay them when there is signs behind it that you're not going to get the return on the money you're spending. You just don't. Let him walk. Don't worry about it. If he ends up being good for somebody else, so what? If he was injured with you, he'd be worthless. And he'd be paying money for a player that wasn't playing. Stop being afraid. GMs are so afraid because of the injuries They're so afraid to make trades, yet they're so aggressive at signing players that have injury history. Like, you're afraid to make the trade for the player, but you'll sign him to a $20 million a year contract. Because that makes a bunch of sense. I don't know. All right, let's go elsewhere. I'm feeling okay right now. Nothing new has popped up. Let's go elsewhere. Let's get the 10,000-foot view of sports on this beautiful Tuesday morning as we head towards lunchtime. If you are joining us during lunch, have a good lunch. Eat a hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever it may be. Turkey sandwich also sounds really, really good right now. Cold cut combo. Firehouse subs or a Jersey Mike sub absolutely sounds fantastic as well. So if you do get one, eat one for me because I'll be sleeping while you're eating it probably. But hey, that works. All right, let's jump into this. Let's do some hockey from last night. Last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-3. The St. Louis Blues beat the Edmonton Oilers 3-2. We had another overtime game. Are you shocked? I am not. The Vancouver Canucks beat the Nashville Predators in overtime 5-4. And the Seattle Kraken beat the Chicago Blackhawks 3-1. In the NBA last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves knocked off the Nets 125-109. The Bucks, with the last second shot by Giannis, beat the Pacers 117-115. The Jazz beat the Celtics 105-103. The Knicks crushed the Wizards 119-102. Houston beat the Mavericks 110-102. Detroit beat Memphis 114-106. The Kings and the Nuggets were in a great game, 130-124. The Nuggets get the victory there. Lakers beat the Blazers 123-115. And the Miami Heat beat the Los Angeles Clippers, who are they ain't doing hot right now. 120-119. That one's interesting. And I tell you what, I'm not sure how it's going to fully play out. But when you look at the standings, so this will be 3 weeks. 1, 2. So this is 2 full weeks, okay? There is a team that is currently 2 teams that are winless. The New Orleans Pelicans and the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are 0-7. The Pelicans are 0-6. The Washington Wizards and the Indiana Pacers are both 1-6. The Mavericks and the Kings are both 2-5. Everybody else has 3 or more wins. But it is very interesting because at the top of the Eastern Conference, the 76ers and the Chicago Bulls are both 5-1. And I like this young Bulls team. I really do. I love their energy. I loved how they played last year. I love what they do. In the West, Oklahoma City is undefeated, 7-0. The Spurs are 5-1, and the Lakers are 6-2. So the early season is kind of playing out a little bit differently than they thought. That's basically how everything is going to play out. So we also have some baseball news. And this news does not thrill me at all. Does not thrill me at all. The Cubs. Shoto Imanaga. The team rejected an option to extend his contract to 2028. He then rejected the player option of $15 million for next season. And now he is able to become a free agent. I don't like it. At all. The Cubs need pitching. They need to spend some money. He's got 2 seasons, and I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing. So if they give him a qualifying offer and he signs with a different team, they will get draft pick compensation. Okay? I don't like what the Cubs did here. I really don't. I really don't. But the White Sox picked up a $20 million option. Center fielder Luis Robert Jr. is getting paid. He absolutely is getting paid $20 million, and that'll work. The Braves promoted Walt Weiss to manager to replace Brian Snitker. Walt managed the Colorado Rockies from 2013 to 2016. And they do have a strong core, like I said, most of this year. Their entire pitching staff basically went down. Just all of them. All of them went down. And then there's other players that are now going to be free agents. Alex Bregman, Cody Bellinger, and Edwin Diaz. All of them are also going to be free agents. It's going to be a wild Major League Baseball offseason. Some teams are going to have to figure out if they're willing to spend money or not. And that's really where it is. If they're going to spend money or not. Period. And I don't really think there's much else I don't think there's much else as far as that is concerned. It's just the Dodgers win the World Series. They spent the money. They've spent it wisely, and that is a big key. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, it's 11:30. Let's run through the injuries real fast. Okay. This morning, Jonathan Gannon said that Kyler Murray will be the starter when he's fully healthy. Many believe he was healthy this week and he could have started last night. I believe they may be trying to shop him. If they are, good for them. Good for them. Michael Wilson, the linebacker, had a rib injury last night. He is questionable. He is currently week to week. Max Melton, the cornerback, was ruled out last night with a concussion. He is now week to week as well. They are looking at trying to get people back next week. LJ Collier. Let's see. They are looking at Trey Benson, BJ Ujulari. They really, really, really want to get people back and people healthy. The Cardinals have players, and they may be able to trade some of these players if they get them off of the injury list. The Atlanta Falcons, Chris Lindstrom, the all-pro guard, sustained a foot injury in the fourth quarter of the game against the Patriots. He is week to week. Leonard Floyd has a hamstring injury. He is week to week. Then the other guard, Matthew Bergeron, has an ankle injury now. They're watching him close. Lindstrom and Bergeron, that is not good when you have both of your guards on the injury report. That doesn't normally bode well. The Baltimore Ravens, they are actually healthier because nobody is sitting on their injured list right now as far as questionable or anything like that. It is all the injured reserve players, so no news there. Buffalo Bills, Josh Palmer, Daquan Jones, Shaq Thompson, and Taron Johnson, all of them have nagging injuries. They are day-to-day, limited practice, full practice, whatever it may be. They do not have anybody except potentially Tyler Bass, Cameron Johnston. We don't know when their going to get pulled off the list. I know they want Tyler Bass back because Prater missing that field goal gave Mahomes an opportunity to make a miracle happen, and you can't do that. So I know the Buffalo Bills want Tyler Bass back. The Carolina Panthers, mostly healthy. Chandler Zavala has an elbow injury. He is currently day-to-day. Cade Mays and Princely are the only two other players on the everyday injury report. The Chicago Bears, DeAndre Swift, Dominic Robinson, Roschon Johnson, Luther Burden. All of those players have the nagging injuries. They are week to week. Hurricane Dio, former defensive end for the Colts, is one of the ones that on Sunday had the Achilles injury. He is out for the year. I am looking at the Bears to make a move. They believe they're right there with the Lions and Packers and Vikings. They believe if they can play defense, they can make this work. They believe this. I would fully support what they're trying to do. Look for them to make a move. As far as players coming back, Jalen Johnson, they're going to be looking at when he can come back, open up his timetable, and that looks like that is going to be about it. All right, the Cincinnati Bengals, they are basically just waiting. Shamar Stewart is week to week with a knee injury. Shocker, another defensive injury. Samaje Perine has a high ankle sprain. He will be out for a couple weeks. Dalton Risner, Trey Hendrickson, both were out this past game. Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders is on the injury report. Not sure why, but Shedeur Sanders is on the injury report. Kevin Stefanski said that Deshaun Watson will not have his 21-day practice window opened this week. Isaiah Bond is recovering from an injury that he sustained in week 8, so he is still not available. Tyson Campbell is in concussion protocol, and hopefully he'll be available for the next game. Quinshon Judkins still has that nagging shoulder injury. The Dallas Cowboys, Solomon Thomas was questionable last night due to a calf strain. Marquise Bell, the safety, left the matchup due to cramps. Terrence Steele had a migraine last night. No big deal. Probably took 2 Tylenol PM and will be perfectly fine. The Denver Broncos are banged up. Patrick Surtain is on the injury list, nagging injury. Marvin Mims was out this past week. PJ Locke, Nate Adkins, Jonathan Cooper was limited in practice with his thumb injury yesterday. Brandon Jones, the safety, did not practice yesterday. Riley Moss, DJ Jones, and John Franklin Myers. JT Gray, the safety, had a hamstring injury. He was ruled out for the rest of the game against the Texans on Sunday. Go back, make sure nothing has happened. No. Looks like we are still clear. It may not pick up for another 3 hours. I don't know if it's a boring day. I apologize, guys. We all know it shouldn't be. Detroit Lions, Kirby Joseph and Craig Reynolds have the questionable tag. They are currently day-to-day. Josh Paschal is currently still a few weeks away from practicing. They definitely need him back. Christian Mahogany has a leg injury. He's aiming for a December return. Penei Sewell injured and suffered a lower body injury on Sunday. He is currently week to week. Terrion Arnold, who just came back and had a really good game on Sunday, he is questionable due to a back injury. Tyler Decker has a knee injury. Ty Summers has a thumb injury. The Lions are once again just a little bit banged up. But they do have players that are eligible to return this week and next week, and hopefully they get those players back. Nate Hobbs, we move to the Green Bay Packers. Dontavian Wicks, Lucas Van Ness, nagging injuries, questionable as usual. Nate Hobbs is going to miss 2 games with a grade 1 MCL sprain. Matthew Golden has a shoulder injury now. He is week to week. Tucker Kraft. This is the big one. Out for the year, ACL tear. Now, this is week 9, guys. This is week 9. So let's think about this. Best case scenario is not training camp. This is November. You're not coming back from an ACL in July in football. It's not happening. You're probably looking September, getting ready to play in October in football. That's a huge blow to this team. And I would say there are a couple tight ends that I know are out there. I know they're available. And if I'm the Packers, I go get them. Chigga Conqueror is available from the Titans. Send him a 6th-round pick. Get Chigga Conqueror. He can play. He can go with Love. He can run a lot of the same routes. Go get him. Go get Juwan Johnson from the Saints. Like, you got to make a move. Your wide receiver core isn't good enough. You've got to make a move. The Houston Texans. Injury report still doesn't look great. Jimmy Ward, the safety, could practice within the next couple weeks. But this past week, that game against the Broncos really banged them up. CJ Stroud, concussion. Titus Howard, the offensive tackle, concussion. Ed Ingram, the guard, had a knee injury. Christian Harris, the linebacker, shin injury. Darrell Taylor, defensive end, ankle injury. Not good. Not good. Texans are also a team having a down year. I would just take the down year and go. Just take the down year and go. Indianapolis Colts, Tyquan Lewis, Anthony Gold, Samson Ebukam, all with the nagging injuries. And that is really it right now. Javarius Ward can't come back till the 23rd. So you're basically looking at the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Brian Thomas, who had a very good game on Sunday against the Raiders, did leave with an ankle injury. Jordan Lewis left with a shoulder injury. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, has an ankle knee injury. De'Ami Brown, Devin Lloyd, Quentin Morris, and Tim Patrick are nagging questionable tags. The Kansas City Chiefs, Jawan Taylor got injured on Sunday. Pacheco was out on Sunday. But you've already got Simmons, who had been in and out. And now your right tackle, who isn't great, but your right tackle, Jawan Taylor, then also gets injured. So we'll see what happens with the Chiefs. The Raiders have 4 people on injured reserve. That is it. They shouldn't suck the way they do. They really shouldn't. Because they have nobody on there compared to the Chargers. Tariq Steele, the corner. Tony Jefferson, safety. Will Dissly and Mekhi Becton, all with questionable tabs, nagging injuries. Hassan Haskins got placed on injured reserve on Saturday with a hamstring. Joe Alt is going to have season-ending surgery to his ankle. Omarion Hampton is not expected to return until after the team's Week 12 bye week. The Chargers are in a very, very critical point. They can't lose the grasp on everything that's going on. Okay, they cannot lose a grasp sitting there with the Chiefs and the Broncos. You don't want to let your positioning slip away. So they've got to really figure out what to do. I trust Jim Harbaugh. Sometimes you just don't have the bodies. We'll see how the schedule plays out. For the Los Angeles Rams, Puka Nacua is set to have a scan on the rib injury that he sustained in the last game. But he keeps getting banged up, and that's not a good thing. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense because he's not a stick figure guy. He's a bulkier guy. So that one doesn't make any sense. The Miami Dolphins, they're a wreck. They're a wreck. Chop Robinson, concussion protocol. Ollie Gordon with the ankle. Rasul Douglas with the toe. He did end up playing on Thursday. Did decent. They need to trade people. They just need to trade whoever they can. Minnesota Vikings. Ryan Kelly actually went on IR, and he'll begin working on the side, coming back from the concussion. The goal is 2 weeks. He can come off the IR in 2 weeks because it was retroactive. So he's hoping that can happen. Theo Jackson, the safety, is also in concussion protocol. Aaron Jones is sore, his right shoulder, which had been an injury. He is sore, but currently he is still okay. The New England Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson was out this past Sunday. Didn't matter. Henderson did a great job. Kayshon Boutte, hamstring injury. He will not be ready for the game against Tampa Bay. Christian Gonzalez had a head injury. Watch that. They need him for the Tampa Bay game. Christian Ellis, also hip injury. Watch it. The Buccaneers, coming off a bye, they have a lot of holes. Patriots can exploit, but not if you're missing a bunch of defensive pieces. The New Orleans Saints just need to sell everybody. I've said this, and I will say it again. And now Fuaga is considered week to week with a high ankle sprain. So really, please just do it. Trade Cesar Ruiz. Trade whoever you can. Trade Granderson. Trade Willie Gay. Just trade them. Just trade them. I don't understand. I really don't. I do not understand. The Giants, they got a lot of injuries. They've got a lot of injuries. Anthony Johnson, Jermaine, Javon Holland, Chauncey Golston, Cordell Flott, Daniel Bellinger, Paulson Adebo, John Michael Schmitz, shin injury, Bo Collins, neck injury, Darius Musel, ankle injury. They got injuries. But the Giants weren't really doing much right now. They're just trying to remain competitive. Andre Cisco for the Jets was put on IR. He has a pectoral injury that will make him miss the rest of the season. Sauce Gardner, Stone Smart, Tyrod Taylor, Jay Tufole, and Garrett Wilson all are still currently injured. We'll see who returns this week for the game against the Browns. Philadelphia Eagles, Marcus Epps was placed on injured reserve on Saturday. Undisclosed injury, but he's on IR. Saquon Barkley has a groin injury. He is supposed to be able to play against the Packers, but watch for that. Cam Jurgens is still injured on the offensive line, and A.J. Brown. The Pittsburgh Steelers are really, really injured. They are injury riddled. They have got a lot of injuries. There is no doubt about this whatsoever. Jabril Peppers, Cole Holcomb, Chuck Clark, Cody Trice. It's just, there's a bunch of people that are injured for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that is why their season is going like this. Because they can't get any consistency out of the front, and the back end is not strong enough to be able to hold up. San Francisco 49ers. They are hoping Brock Purdy is back this week, and Ricky Pearsall, and Bryce Huff, and Jake Brendel. They are hoping they are all back. Okay? Mykel Williams, another player, hits the dust. Torn ACL. The rookie out of Georgia, torn ACL. He is out for the year. Feels so bad for these guys. Torn ACLs. We have got to figure out what is doing this. We have to. We have to figure out what is doing this. The Seattle Seahawks, Cooper Kupp, Jake Bobo, Ernest Jones has a knee injury. that he left the game on Sunday night with. Josh Jobe has a concussion, so we'll watch him as he progresses. The Buccaneers have not sent out anything new. Luke Goedeke, though, is designated to return the All-Pro tackle, so we will see what happens. Mike Evans is not going to be back until the playoffs, even if he potentially tries to come back. And they really do need to get a little bit healthier. They really do. The Tennessee Titans, Xavier Woods, Jeffrey Simmons, Calvin Ridley, Arden Key, all those players were out. They got the bye week. This is the time to trade them. This is the time to trade these players. They already traded Draymond Jones. I would trade Arden Key. I would trade Calvin Ridley. I really would. Get rid of some of the older players. Washington Commanders, they're still waiting on McLaurin. We already went over that. Jaden Daniels, he's going to be out for a while. Dislocated elbow, he's out. Marshawn Lattimore, season-ending ACL tear. He's out. McCaffrey, fractured collarbone to Luke McCaffrey. He's out to the playoffs, and I don't think the Commanders make the playoffs now. So the reality is the injuries are really starting to pile up. And there it is. There it is. I was wondering who would do it. Here we go. All right. The Las Vegas Raiders are trading wide receiver Jakobi Meyers to the Jacksonville Jaguars in exchange for 4th and 6th round picks. Multiple teams, including the Pittsburgh Steelers, had shown interest, and he will be a free agent after the end of the year. And now, Travis Hunter's on injured reserve in Jacksonville. Brian Thomas is dealing with an injury. The Jaguars are 1,000% a playoff fighting team. Brian Thomas needs help. He can't be the only guy. I think he'll get healthy. He'll be all right. They can play it kind of easy with him, and I think it'll be okay. But there we go. Got another trade. The Jaguars get Myers from I like that. I got Myers in a lot of my fantasy leagues. I like that trade for Myers. I would have liked him to go to Atlanta a little bit more, but that's a good move by the Jaguars. The only problem I see is this. So where are we at? 11:45. Okay. So let's talk about this, and we may call it quits here. The only part of this that bothers me is that it feels like they're all in on this year, but they had no reason to be. You just traded 2 picks to the Raiders, a 4th and a 6th, for Myers. You made a huge trade where the Browns got an absolute haul when you traded draft picks to get Travis Hunter. That kid GM down in Jacksonville, and yes, I am quoting a phrase from draft day. That kid GM in Jacksonville, I don't like him. I don't think Cohen is an issue. I think Khan, the owner, is an issue. He needs somebody that comes in like Adam Peters does, like Harris has set up with the Commanders. Listen, the Commanders were in the NFC Championship game last year. They made some moves. It hasn't worked. Daniels got injured. So what? The Bengals know what this feels like. They've had Joe Burrow injured how many times? Sometimes it happens. It's still a well-run organization, regardless of what anybody at the Bozo Network says. The Commanders are just fine. This is not an organization failure. It's down here. Okay? I mean, guys, come on. Everybody's flipping out. The Chiefs are 5-4. Chiefs are only 1 game above 500. Give me a break. The Chiefs have the same record as the Carolina Panthers. Chill. It's okay. Like, sometimes the season just doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. And they tried to go all in. They took a shot. I'm not going to go against somebody that takes a shot. You got Jayden Daniels. You might as well. Why wouldn't you? That's my question. Why wouldn't you? But I do love that trade. If the Jaguars can sign Myers long term, I think that helps Brian Thomas. And it puts Hunter in the slot where he should be. Especially since he's not playing, and I hope he's realized that he's not a two-way player that's good enough. He's not good enough to be a two-way player. But I think in the slot, he would be useful. I hope the Jaguars can sign Myers long-term. And I hope the Jaguars get what they wanted out of him so that the draft picks don't end up being needed. But we'll find out. We'll find out. All right, guys, that is going to be it for me. That is going to be it for me. We will be back tomorrow. I am hoping 10:30. Guys, it was a 13-and-a-half-hour night for me last night. I mean, I am tired. It was long. It was absolutely long. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Watch the channel. I will post when I know around about what time I'll be able to go live. I appreciate every single one of you. Bear with me as I go through this wild thing that's going on at work right now, and I deeply appreciate every single one of you. Please like, subscribe, share the podcast. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. It's trade deadline day. I'm going to go to bed, and when I wake up, I'm going to find out about everything that happened. So I hope it's wild. I hope I wake up and there's 10, 15 trades that went down. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Make it the best day that you can, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Until then, for Sports Talk with Hawk, I'm Hawk, and I'm out. Have a great day.